Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Hamlet and Orestes by Gilbert Murray. Gilbert Murray published this Hamlet and Orestes, a study in traditional types, and this he presented in the annual Shakespeare lecture to the British Academy of 1914. And here he explored the remarkable similarities in the Aristea, Saxo's Amlody, and Shakespeare's Hamlet, and he has identified many similarities in the stories of Aristo and Hamlet. Murray gives an example of the hero's madness, which is the same in Euripides and Shakespeare, but very different from the northern legend in Sago or in the Icelandic Ambala saga. Hamlet and Orestes move through times of cultural liminality. Orestes' generation is the last of the age of heroes, to be followed by what Hesiod called the Iron Age. No more would the Olympian gods walk the earth. Heroes transform into revered ancestors of noble families. Hamlet's highly developed consciousness, his moral philosophy reflect a similar cultural transition. There are parallels between Hamlet and the Orestian dramas of Achilles, Sophocles, and Euripides. In all versions except Hamlet, the hero succeeds to the throne. Orestes has visions of Agamemnon and receives his charge from Apollo at the oracle of Delphi. Ambalus has angels and Hamlet has his father's ghost. Murray observes that Hamlet's madness is largely feigned. His emotional instability reaches a crisis pitch when he assails his mother with violent words, then mistakenly kills Paulinus in a blind rage. According to Murray, this is also true of Brutus and of Amlody in Ambalus. Orestes, on the other hand, is a haunted man before he murders Clytemnestra. Total madness comes only after his brutal revenge. Both Orestes and Hamlet have visions while in their mother's bedchambers. For Orestes, it is the horrible image of the Furies. For Hamlet, it is the ghost. In both stories, it is only the heroes who can see these unnatural and terrifying beings. Orestes, like Hamlet, doubts himself and hesitates to take action. He fears that the god who commands him to take revenge may be an evil spirit in disguise. Although Orestes' post-matricide madness is real, like Hamlet, he is crafty at disguising himself and hiding his revengeful feelings until he is ready to act. Orestes, Amlody, and Hamlet all undertake sea journeys to return home, and all are presumed dead before their arrival. In all three versions, the hero interrupts funeral rites, Devon funerals in the Greek, and northern stories and Ophelia's burial in Hamlet. All these characters frequently use abusive or outrageous language. Both Orestes and Hamlet have the support of a companion who arrives and joins them in their mission. Pylades for the Greek and Horatio for the Dane. The young heroes are also clearly prone to expressing cynical negative opinions about women. Hamlet's invective against both Ophelia and Gertrude is reflected in Orestes' troubled misogyny. Orestes and Hamlet are both away from home when the king's murder takes place. They both escape repeatedly from harmful forces, and they are both connected to ghosts, graves, and funerals. Both Orestes and Hamlet hear the grievous details of their father's death, and both idolize their fathers, likening them to the sun god. Hamlet's Hyperion is comparable to Agamemnon's Hellas. Both fathers are great warriors. King Hamlet defeated Fortinbras in medieval ritual combat. Agamemnon led an army to the victory in the Trojan War. The usurpers, Agastrothus and Claudius, are both guilty of murder, incest, and drunkenness. Both revenging heroes will put out killing the enemy in order to inflict a worse death later, with, in Hamlet, deadly consequences for the entire court. One of the great horrors about the father's death in both traditions is that they died without the due religious observances. Finally, Murray notes that in the plays about Orestes, he is depicted as closely connected to an odd couple, a young woman Electra, and an old servant who saved Orestes' life during his childhood. This pair turns up in various forms during the sagas, eventually emerging as the lover Ophelia and the courtier Polonius. Murray indulges a romanticized tradition of genius that gets repeated generation after generation, culture after culture, mixing fact with myth, history with legend, heroes with sacred ancestors. Uranus, the sky king, wedded Gaia, the earth mother, and they used to bring children were but the first in a continuous mythopoetic tradition that leads to Prince Hamlet. This beautiful analysis by Gilbert Murray ends with the proposition that there may be a more remarkable Greek influences to be found in Hamlet. And here ends the summary. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends. And if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.